Hi guys, Stephanie here from All Things Social. Welcome back to the A to Z of social media. Today's letter is I. And yes, you have guessed it, I stands for Instagram. And once again, just like the Facebook video a few weeks ago, Instagram is a minefield of information. So I have broken it down into 5 simple tips for your Instagram page. So let's get into it. Number 1 is to maintain a consistent presence. By that, I don't mean necessarily posting every single day on your feed, but at least be active on the app. So that means using Instagram stories, making sure that you're engaging and commenting with other people, and not just passively logging into the app and scrolling past all the posts, giving the occasional like. If you are actively giving back to your community on Instagram, then you will see the benefits come in. Tip number 2, as I just slightly mentioned, is to use Instagram stories. The beauty of Instagram stories is that you don't have to have spent a lot of time editing something. You can just give people an update of your day. You can post multiple things throughout the day, and it's a great way to engage your current audience. There are certain people that I follow who, when I log into Instagram, I actively seek out to check out their stories and see what they've been up to for the past couple of hours while I've been off the app. So it really is a great way to keep people hooked on what you're doing and keep them interested in you and your business. Tip number 3 is to use hashtags. Basically on Instagram, you can use up to 30. If that's what Instagram say you should be using, then maybe you should use them. Let me give you a little bit of an example about how I tend to work. When I take on a new client's Instagram, I tend to really pull back on the hashtags and just use 1 or 2 for the first few weeks to make sure that we can establish a baseline in terms of engagement before we start adding in more hashtags. Then I will do some hashtag research for relevant hashtags within their industry, and I will add them in the comments below just to be a bit neater. The reason that I do that is then when I'm adding in new hashtags, I'll be able to identify which ones are bringing in the kind of robotic spam comments that are not helpful for anybody, and then I just switch them out with other ones. Don't forget, you can also use the hashtag sticker in your Instagram stories to reach a wider audience and bring in new people to your platform. Tip number 4 is to focus on your aesthetic on your feed. Now, what I mean by that is make sure that all of your pictures sit nicely next to each other on your main feed of your Instagram. And the reason for that is, on Instagram, you basically have 2 audiences. You have the people that already follow you, that will see your posts in their feed independent of each other, who will like and comment as they please. But you also have another audience, that's the people that will discover you via hashtags or stories or shares, and the reason that they will hit follow on your profile is because when they come there, it all looks neat and tidy and it seems like something that they want to follow. So one way to make sure that your feed looks nice and consistent and cohesive is to pick colours. For example, for All Things Social, it may be obvious, but my colours are black, gold and white. And I've tried many different ways of making this feed look really pretty and really consistent, but the easiest way of making it all look right next to each other is just to go really strict with myself on those colours. So basically my tip here is to be strict with yourself, but not too strict that you get completely stuck and don't post anything. Just set yourself a few guidelines like I have with colour, for example, and give it a go. Tip number 5 is to use the tools available to you. Now, exactly like we said about Facebook a few weeks ago, Instagram has a lot of great tools for you to use. Stories, live video, tags. Basically, there's a lot of tools at your disposal, so use them, play around with them, and just get comfortable with the platform. That's it for that's my 5 tips for Instagram. If you've got any questions, and I'm sure there will be because I haven't managed to fit everything into this video, then please do ask me down below or over again in my Facebook group, All Things Social. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And in the meantime, I'll be back next week with Jay.